Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for supporting this channel. Fred Matian'gi quietly jetted in the country, and at the airport he actually declined to comment about 2027 presidential bid. But in this podcast we are going to delve deep and explain the statecraft to crush Matian'gi as reports emerge about Uhuru Kenyatta's position on this. And in this, we are going to critically look at what are some of the factors that are emerging on Matian'gi's presidential bid. Kindly subscribe to our channel. I am back in Embu as I promised you guys. And in Embu, we were building a house for this lady, Virginia. Virginia is a mother of 3 children who had problems, na macho na mguu, and one also had autism. So because of our place, they used to stay here and the situation was unbearable. So we came here last week and started the construction of a house that is being done, and I wanted to look at this other video. This is the video where the house has reached. Wameshaweka kila kitu, mlango, and tomorrow they're actually doing the floor. So we are back here to finish this project. The second phase of this project was to ensure that, number one, we build a toilet. So your toilet already shachimbwa, and that is what you can see there. We want to build a toilet for them, and number 2, we're looking at economic activity that she can do. And we discussed with her and the other members of the community there, and they agreed that one of the things that is doing well is biashara ya kuku, poultry. So we're going to establish poultry structure for her and buy for her some kukus, the improved kienyeji, like 20 of them, so that she can rear them. Then from there, she'll be selling the eggs because it's a business that is doing well this side of Embu. She'll be selling eggs to fetch something for the family. And because of that, we now need to put up a fence, because to surround that environment, it will restrict so that the cuckoos cannot move out. And through that, she is going to make an income. So I am here. We are looking at building a toilet for her, putting up a fence, and buying for her some cuckoos and even buzzes. At a budget of 100,000, we'll be able to finish this phase of this project. So kindly partner with us. I am already here. I'll be here today, Sunday and Monday, so that by Monday afternoon when I'll be leaving, I'll make sure that everything has been set up. From tomorrow tunaenda kutafuta polls so that she will get in that house officially on Tuesday, and by then after the plastering shall also have been done. For those who are hearing this for the first time, we've been here, and this is the soundbite of Virginia, of course, just about what happened. We arrived in Embu today and we managed to take the children to the hospital. They were treated. Remember, this we were supposed to do last week, we had not done it. So we took the children to the hospital today, now waliweza kutibiwa, and then we are still monitoring about the issue of the ice, which we will get a solution in due course so that they can also get sorted. This is where they stay. This is their bed. The mother, mama, hao watoto wanalala wapi? Hapa kwa neighbor. Na nyinyi mnalala huko na mzee sasa. Yeah. So you can see the situation, and that is our mission for this month. We want to help mzee. So nataka tu uambie kwamba wewe unaitwa nani? Na ungeomba sana uweze kupata nyumba utashukuru. Sema tu jina yako, kuna mtoto unataka kupata, na ungeomba sana uweze upate.
Mimi naitwa Virginia Murugi. Ningetaka kusaidiwa na nyumba juu ya mtoto.
I think it is time to stop the smear campaign on Dr. Fred Matian'gi. Smear with mud. He's not even announced he's running. The more you run filth and raw insults against him, the more harder and resolve the people will stop wasting time on listening to that. In fact, against William Ruto in 2022, Azimio ran such a strategy against William Ruto, but there was a resolve from his supporters that they were going to vote for him. The reports that Matian'gi is going to face 12 charges, some corruption-related charges, during his reign as a cabinet secretary working for former President Uhuru Kenyatta. And the strategy to bring Rigathi in the court of law is part of the wider scheme to derail his political mobility. With these schemes are geared that are disposal at the state, the need is to make sure that they puncture the grand launch, or rather the grand campaigns to dethrone the president. And the other, the justice system has been activated to descend on Matian'gi, and it is informed. That is why when he arrived, he decided to arrive here quietly. But of course, as I said, he must face the razzmatazz around. After Rigathi Gachagua showed interest and expressed that the opposition will be merging to work with Matian'gi, I saw the NIS agent Morara Kebaso releasing a statement today that strategically is targeting the Rigathi battalion with Matian'gi.
Happy Easter wa Kenya wenzangu. Now for a long time, tribalism has denied us an opportunity to get good leaders in this country, because people are ready to vote for anybody from their tribe without looking at the integrity of this leader and their capacity to deliver and their vision for this country. This time round, we are going to bring together a grand alliance of leaders of integrity who are not coming as kingpins of their tribe, but as leaders ready to transform this nation. These leaders will raise an army of followers who are ready to vote beyond their tribe just by looking at vision of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, these leaders will not be funded by former thieves or current thieves who are coming back to power to continue the hegemony that has been there. They will be funded directly by the Kenyan people through fundraising, and not by billionaires or some vested interests from foreign nations. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to give you hope that our country will change because we are willing, ready, and we have that vision. I encourage the youth of Kenya not to board that bus of tribalism, of clueless opposition leaders who are just uniting but do not have a vision except removing the president. Our vision must go beyond William Ruto. We must think beyond removing the president. What is our vision? What is our stand on corruption? How will we turn around our economy and give jobs and opportunities to young people who have given up hope in this country? How will we deliver justice to victims of police brutality? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the question that lingers in our mind. And we are not boarding that vehicle of tribalism and tribal alliances just because we want to defeat the president. We are going to be united in unity of purpose. And we are going to have a vision that can transform this nation. Enjoy your Easter with your families. To Rudy Job, Tenor Tuesday.
So, and I've always been saying that he's actually the man working for president. For quite some time, Kenyans believed him. But in the new wake of things, I've not seen him calling out the president on even the handshake deal between Ruto and Raila. If the alternative is the handshake deal between Ruto and Raila, and you're leaving because you're saying the opposition is mobilizing on tribal lines, then even the president and Raila are hiding behind some unity agenda. But in real sense, the units they want to unite are tribal units. That is it. So I think our politics we are not yet off the tribal hook. It is still coalescing around the ethnic lines. And I would want us to take a minute. Ruto is keen that the third issue scheme is Ruto is keen to scuttle Rigathi Matian'gi union. That union would be very dangerous for the president's term, and that is the third strategy, to make sure that that doesn't work. And that is why you realize Rigathi was talking somewhere in Machakos and was saying that, look here, we are going to make sure that we work with Matian'gi. The work of all things is that Uhuru Kenyatta is showing intent to support Matian'gi, and is the party that is affiliated with Uhuru Kenyatta has been coming out outrightly to support Matian'gi. Exclusive reports then emerge on Matian'gi has been given the impetus to think beyond the box and pick what exactly needs to do. So in this podcast, we're going to look at that. Is Uhuru Axis, that Jubilee party, the best? And let's get this opinion first. And I don't know what will be your take on this first.
Nataka kuongea na Fred Matiang'i. Jana tulisikia ulikuja, na kwa ukweli tumekuona umekuja. Lakini Matiang'i, vile mimi ningekuambia, kwanza utulize. Uone vile ground inasema. Usikuja kukonfusio na huyu mtu anaitwa Jeremia Kioni. Jeremia Kioni ana watu, na hiyo chama ya Jubilee itakikani central ili kukuambia ukweli. Na hata wewe nadhani mahali ulikuwa unaona vile ground iko. Uangalie ile mikutano Gachagua alikuwa anaenda. Uangalie ile mikutano Kalonzo alikuwa anaenda. Uangalie ile mikutano Matembea alikuwa anaenda. Na uangalie ile mikutano Kioni alikuwa anaenda. Uniambie ground. Sasa hapo ndio unasomea vile ground iko. Juu kwa ukweli Jubilee sisi central atuitaki. So sasa ukikuja usimame na chama ya Jubilee, wewe unaenda nyumbani. Wewe jua vile utatengeneza chama yako. Hiyo sasa watu wanasema ya ukabila huko Kisii. Sisi central tutatengeneza chama yetu, hiyo ya Wakikuyu, hiyo wanasema ukabila. Kalonzo wako na yake ya Wakamba. Matembea atengeneze yake. Lakini ule mtu ningependa kuongelesha saa hii sana tena zaidi ni Gachagua. Gachagua ukitaka mzuri, tafuta mtu kama Martha Karua. Tafuta mtu kama Muturi. Mkae chini mkiwa watatu. Mzungumze kitu moja. Juao na jua watakuwa juu sana central. Mkishikana nao. Muwe na chama yenu, ama vile mtaongea bora msituangushe. Muongee tu kitu kimoja. Na utaona kwa ukweli hii serikali tutaipeleka usubuhi na mapema. Matembea na Shirashi waongee na watu ya kwao. Matian'gi, Kalonzo, Gachagua muongee. Hii serikali muone tukiipeleka usubuhi na mapema. So Matian'gi usikonfusiwe na Jeremia Kioni ana watu. Huyo wana watu hata kidogo. Sisi ndio tuko ground, sisi ndio tunajua vile mambo iko. Kwanza usikibirie Jeremia Kioni, huyo wachana na yeye. Juu huyo atakuharibia ground. Mzuri tu mkishatengeneza machama zenyu, nyinyi wote sasa mkae tena chini. Mtoe mtu moja apeperusha bendera. Baada ya kusikizana. Sasa mtakuwa mmezungumza mpaka mambo ya mashares. Hizi kunasemekanaga juu shares mpaka iwe. Siwezi fanya kazi ya bure. Mashares mpaka itakuwa hapo. Hizo walitoa Gachagua nazo. Juu si tumejifunza mambo moja mingi sana kwa hizo machama. Kwa ukweli tulienda UDA tukiwa hatuna chama. Ndio umeona Gachagua amehangaishwa hivi. Juu ana chama yake. Sasa ndio tunasema kila mtu akuje na chama, hata jamii gani ama gani. Bora mmekuja na chama yenu. Hata kama ni wa Maasai mkuja na chama yenu. Tujue mmeleta watu wangapi kwa ground. Ndio hii serikali tuitingize usubuhi na mapema iwe imeenda. Na warudishe zile vitu za watu wamekula. Hiyo ndio tu ile game tutafaulu nayo. Wale watu wengine nataka kuongea nao ni hao watu wa Kiambu. Kiambu mchunge sana.
So, yes, Uhuru Kenyatta is backing Gadi and is backing Matian'gi. And there are reports that he had also been meeting a contingent of church leaders, especially those that come, those ones that are around the Kenyatta family, of course, to try to prop up this, but it cannot come out in public. And I want to believe that, yes, Uhuru has hinted outrightly on backing Matian'gi and would even be the chief guest in, I think, the grand launch of Matian'gi's presidential bid. Someone says, I saw that report somewhere. But as that guy have spoken, that is some unpopular truth that some people will not take. But that is it. If you ask me, Uhuru Kenyatta should support Matian'gi in the back room. It should be a backroom support, number one. And I also agree with that guy that drop the Jubilee ticket for the presidential bid. And to me, the way Jeremiah Kioni is very busy moving across with the Matian'gi bid, to me is a decoy. And it is, and Matian'gi must be very keen with Kioni. As much as Kioni understands that Uhuru Kenyatta do not have a problem with Matian'gi. And even if his party will back Matian'gi, it's fine. But the whole thing must be managed well. There are demerits of that Jubilee party. Jubilee party is a party that outlived its purpose. Remember, it was in power for 10 years. When the Jubilee party is the party to endorse Matian'gi, it is not in good taste for the country because there is a need for progression. Like, people want a new change. People want something new. The Jubilee party with Matian'gi is easily branded as a reincarnation of the Jubilee administration. And remember, no government can serve the people and live as very popular. It's rarely, it has never happened in Kenya. When you exit, you can never be good until probably when you go to the third floor. That is why Kibaki is nowadays the saint. And so, I am of the opinion that even Jeremiah Kioni doesn't have the mass. Endorsement by Jubilee Party does not carry a very big manipulation tool. No. In fact, it is more better Matian'gi to get a different party, number one. And after getting a different party, then the Jubilee Party and other parties become part of the grand coalition and they settle on one candidate. But Matian'gi should not go to the negotiation table as a Jubilee Party candidate. Because what that will then turn up be, what will that come out will be, what will that then look like will be that, you know, he gets to that coalition but is presented as Jubilee Party candidate. Someone was saying that that Kioni is trying to make the party strong to get some seats so that he can nominate himself. But I want to believe that Matian'gi, yes, is a good candidate. Mount Kenya is willing to vote for Matian'gi, not based on Jubilee Party. Is willing to vote for Matian'gi and not necessarily on Jubilee Party. And I stand with that Jubilee is not the right ticket for him. The other thing is this. Rigathi Access is very strong in persuasion. And while it cements the tribal card, Matian'gi should actually breathe the air of government efficiency. He should speak more about government. As the others talk about the great, but he should come out as the man who is bringing the efficiency, because that is what he's known for, especially when he was in different dockets. Before pushing forward to look like an endorsement, I believe that Uhuru endorsement is right. Rigathi endorsement is right. But this endorsement should come when you really have the goodwill. So I want to believe that he must come out. He must erupt from somewhere. Look at how William Ruto came in 2017. He came out that no one would even rally against him. So before we even reach at that endorsement, I know Uhuru Kenyatta is going to back, and there are reports that Uhuru Kenyatta is making a technical appearance, of course, in public after Matian'gi arrival. And we're going to look at more about this. But I believe Matian'gi must come out strongly first before any person. Thank you.